Are you a busy business owner with an outdated website? Or are you a new business owner that needs a website? Maybe you struggle to find someone to help you build the website that your business deserves. Maybe it's taken too much time or effort, or maybe the estimates you've received are above your budget. If so, you're in the right place. An up-in-a-day website is fast built out, on budget, and extra easy for the business owner. Here's how it works. You pick one of our website packages, finding one that fits your business and your budget. We'll have a kickoff call to get to know you and your business goals, and you'll get to know our amazing design teams. Then we'll schedule your website build-out day. On that day, sit back and relax while our team of designers get to work, taking your brand assets to build you a beautiful, high-converting website. At the end of the day, we'll have a live review with you, make any revisions, then we launch. Voila! Your website is live and out there to your customers. It's that easy and that fast. And after the launch, we've got you covered there too, with ongoing support packages. You've waited long enough. It's time for your business to get a website up in a day.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me and my team during this webinar week we're hosting. My name is Marlyng Perez and I'm the marketing coordinator at Up in a Day. So with this webinar week, what we want to achieve is giving you practical tips and concepts that you can apply to your own business website. Of course, we're always happy to help you with a professional website that is perfect for your business. It's aligned with your industry and it's thought to boost conversions. So if you want to get a website with us, just go to our website, upinaday.co, and click on schedule a consultation. You will also find the URL of the website here. You can visit us, and at the end of the webinar, you will find a QR code that will take you directly to our booking page. So stay tuned. Okay, so without further ado, let's begin. So today's topic is about future trends in web design, staying ahead of the curve. So the purpose of this webinar is to give you an idea of what designs have been working and which ones are in the trend, which one people are looking to have on their own websites, and visitors, potential clients, are getting familiar with those designs. So if you include those designs on your website, you will give them this feeling that you're current, that your website is updated, that your business it's working today. Okay, have you gone to those websites that have a very outdated design, very old layout, and you're like, okay, these people probably might not be in business anymore. So since we don't want to have that impression of our own business, it's important to keep your design current. So if you have a website design and you're planning on redesigning it, these tips will probably help you. And in case you don't have a website for your business, then this webinar could help you spark some inspiration and some ideas on how you want to be portrayed online. So, okay, let's start. The first concept that we are viewing today is minimalism. So this is a timeless trend. Okay, we're starting with our timeless trends that have worked in the past, are working now, and will keep on working in the future because it's a design that it's familiar to visitors. People are familiar to these layouts. They are they expect to find information in certain places, or you want to make it easier for them to find the information on your website by being very straightforward on what you offer without any unnecessary graphics, any unnecessary elements, just what you offer and how to get it. So minimalism helps us portray simplicity, clarity, and white space, those spaces without any content or any graphics in it, and also help us make our visitors focused on our content, on our copy, on what we want to say. So, for example, we have one of our website designs for Catherine Chatal. She is she is a statistician, and we wanted to really to make her website feminine, since her audience is mostly women. So we wanted to make it feminine, but also very straightforward on what she does and how you can get started to on her services. So here, immediately below her logo, we have a little bit of information on what she offers, and then the CTA to let visitors take action. We have an imagery here that it's supportive image of her copy, just so that people, whenever people arrive to her website, they immediately know that her audience are mostly women. And then we have a huge space without any type of content here, just to give a little bit of breathing room between uh, copy blocks. And so whenever people are reading here, they're just focused on this part, and whenever they're reading over here, they're just focused on this part. There are no elements that might take their attention away from what they're currently reading. Another example is Matt Roberts' website. So he is a photographer, and we wanted to highlight his job, highlight his photography, highlight his work. So we decided to put a header with one of his pictures with minimal copy, so you can just right up front see what he does, the quality of his work, and then how to get started with it. And notice that here is a picture, here is a picture, and here's a picture. So the main focus on the design, it's his work. Very minimal text, very straightforward. He's a photographer. He offers really high quality photos. That's what we wanted to show. So if your audience, if your design or if your personality, it's more on the practical side, minimalism is a really good this layout to implement on your website. If you're booking a call with us, you can let us know that this specific design, it's what you want to have on your own design, so that it's totally okay. But it will depend. There is no one size fits all. So all of the designs that we are going to learn over here, that I'm going to show you, are they will depend on what your industry is, your own personality, what your target audience is, who are they, what's their personality, and what might they be more inclined on finding more interactive, more interesting. So though all those elements will depend on the final design of your website. So over here we're just seeing some ideas, some sparking ideas. That's our main focus over here. So if you're liking this element, just keep it in mind, take note, and you can let us know in a call. Now, responsiveness. You want your website design to be responsive. You want it to be adaptable to different devices. Now, not everyone will be on their desktop. Finding on Google your business so that they can see the desktop design of your website. Now, most people might be on their cars, might be on the banks, doing so many different things, and they're mostly using their phones. So you want your website to be responsive, to be adaptable to that device, so that elements can be found and can be clickable, just with your thumb. Now, what happens if your design it's not responsive? Then the desktop version is going to be shown on the mobile version, and the text is going to be so small, the buttons are going to be so small, and almost unclickable. So we don't want to offer a bad experience to visitors. So it's really important that whether they're seeing your website on an iPad, again, desktop, laptop, phone, it's comfortable for them to take action. So here's one of our one example of one of our designs as well. This is for Gary Sina Group. So this is his desktop version. And it's very cohesive. Then this is the mobile version of the design, and as well, notice that it's in a way so that it's easy to click. Here's the button, so you can easily click with your thumb and you can read it with no problem. It's readable, it's comfortable for them. So keep it in mind. You need your website to be responsive, to be adaptable to devices. Now with bold typography, you can leverage from this element if you want to highlight a statement, if you want to grab your visitor's attention in a certain element, if you want to define hierarchy within your content. Look, for example, this website for Awesomer. We decided to include an image on the header part with bold letters. So although there is an image in the header, it doesn't take the attention out of the text, which is what we want them to read, what visitors to read, because they will find the something important to take action. And notice that below, here's the CTA. So it's guiding them throughout the website. And it's a really good element also if you want to, maybe you don't have a background, you don't have imagery, and you just want to use bold letters, that it's also okay, that is also good. And it's just an element that you can leverage from. Again, this could also be used in minimalism. Those are elements that can be combined, no problem at all. Now, if your current branding doesn't have a very vibrant colors, that is no problem. But by giving vibrant colors a space within your design or within your website, it's a good element to grab attention, to help visitors be focused on that element that you want them to be focused on. For example, we have the YB's website, children's clothing, and we used the red. This is beautiful, strong red to grab attention on the header. And notice that we only use text, so we want visitors to read this part. This is like the most important part, because it's where we say what the website is about, what the business is about. And then they keep on reading to learn more about those services. And notice that the buttons are yellow. So again, if you have your branding palette, that is also good. But if you can add a vibrant color, something that can be spotted out of the rest of the palette, could also be good to be used in the CTA in different sections. Now look at this example. This is a beautiful purple with a gradient of pink. It's a very good technique to include in your header. Again, if you don't have imagery, you could benefit from using these gradients and colors. And again, by the bold typography, we create a hierarchy on what the reader or what the visitor is going to read and is going to use. So another one is illustrations. Adding dynamism to your website is a really good way to keep your visitors engaged with it. So in this example, I used our own website. I used Opinatai's website. And you notice that you see this graphic over here and you immediately want to know what's this graphic about? What do I have to read, or what information are they telling me in this section? So immediately go reading. The same with this one and same with this one. It also makes you stand out from your competitors, because you can be recognized in a certain way by using those elements. Now, they can be illustrations or graphics that only work for your brand. So people can recognize your brand out of those graphics. It makes easier to digest the information, helps you separate the information. So these are really good elements. In case you don't have one, you can also talk to us, mention that you want to include some small graphics and icons on your website, and we will pay attention to include those in your design. Now these layers, we want to play around with the layers again, just to help create this dynamism in the design, so that visitors are constantly engaged with what we were saying in our website. So look at this example. This is World of Business Reading Group website. And we put this black rectangle at the back, and we put some text bubbles at the front. And it creates this layered design. It gives a profound, dynamic overall look and feel for the website. In this part too, we mixed a shape with an image altogether, and it gives a pretty cool bonus to the website. Again, for layers, we have Kristen Chasky's website. In this one, we decided to put her at the front, and then the text, and then we have her background. Also for her homepage, we have this section, and on top we put her picture, and then at the back we put like a side note, like a note from her. This is her telling a story, so we used the layers to help her convey this story to visitors. Now we are into the future trends. So we finished on what it's the base of your, what could be the base of your design. I mean, if you decide to use any of the elements that I mentioned in the past, that it's great for a website, it's great for your business. But these future trends, as we go into more technology, AI era, into futuristic elements, you will notice that this is what it's currently being used since 2024, probably next year, the next one. These are elements that are very interesting to include in your website, and we can include them for you. And one of them is this. You can find these micro interactions in the website that we did for Let's Think Pickleball. So micro interactions are like animations or interactive elements that you can include, very small, very subtle, in your website design. In this case, we included an animation whenever you're hovering the CTA. So you will see here in the picture, in this part, that if you're hovering, then the shadow, the drop shadow gets removed or it goes back. And again, with the play button on the video, if you're hovering, then it gets a transparency and so forth. So these very small elements and subtle animations can be interactive. Again, remember that at the beginning I mentioned that there is no one size fit all. So this is a company that sells or offers a game that their visitors want to engage into something fun, into something different. They, as a company, want it to be perceived as fun, as interactive. So their industry and their audience is aligned with this type of micro interactions. That's why we decided to include them. This probably might not be an element that you want to include in all verticals or in all industries. Your industry is not aligned with this one, that's no problem at all. Since this is what's being used, it's no problem if your website doesn't doesn't have that necessarily. It's not like your website design is going to be outdated. They're just like elements that can be included if your industry is aligned with those. Now, denser and richer graphics. So we spoke about what minimalism was, and that if I don't need something, then I don't need to put it here. So when we're talking about denser and richer graphics, it's not like we're adding more than we need. It's just that we are complementing our information, or complementing what we have through a graphic. Now, look at this case of Corinne Wired's coaching. Her website includes a graphic. This circle that we have over here, this is a graphic we decided to include to support her imagery and her copy, to give more dynamism to it. But it connects both. It doesn't remove the focus of any of them. You can still read her header, which is the most important part. And you can see the CTA, you can click on the CTA. Her imagery as well gives you a very relaxing feel, which is what she wanted to convey. She wanted visitors to feel comfortable, to feel relaxed. So by using graphics doesn't mean that you are going to overuse the resource. It's just that you are complementing what you have, or you're supporting your current content, copy, images, etc. As well as importance in Communication Inc. You have, we included these colors. We spoke about colors in the past. This is a resource we used. We used this wavy line at the back with this image over here. So they wanted to be perceived as approachable. They wanted to have this very close approach to visitors, so that they could feel comfortable enough to book a consultation with them, to learn more about their services. And that's why we decided to use these graphics. So notice that it doesn't take the attention from the copy, the content, the part where it says what their business is about, and whether visitors will find, to let visitors know that they came to the right place, basically. Every element has its own space and everything's cohesive. But again, this is kind of the opposite of the minimalism. Another example could be to include animations or videos throughout your website. In this case, I'm using another example of Up in a Day. We have this circle, this moving circle at the back with the copy in the center. And it's kind of relaxing to see the circle, but it's also, doesn't remove the attention from the text, from the copy, which is again where the important part is, where visitors will understand what we're doing and what we offer. Then we have the typographical evolution, which is basically using typography as the main resource for your website. In this case, we have Matthew Renault's consulting, and although we used a image in the background, the attention is focused on the text. And in the next section, you will also find text, because the design is based on typography. But that doesn't mean that there's a long paragraph ready to be read by visitors. The copy is segmented. Each part has its own section, and it's easy for potential clients to immediately identify where the information is and to find what they're looking for. Again, to learn if this is the right business for them. And potential clients, they're aligned with what it says, then it's easy to click and to find the CTA to take action. Another example are children's clothing website with typography as the main resource, again with the background in red. It's attention grabbing. But notice that in the first two sections is where we use typography, and then we in the third section we used images and videos, but that doesn't take the attention. I mean, it's not a long text and it's not a long paragraph that you need to read, so it's really comfortable to see and to identify if what they do basically. Now, Foxy management, also we used image as a supporting element of the text, but the text itself has its own focus, its own light, and visitors can easily read. Now, other future trends are subtle nostalgia, which is bringing back old trends. This focuses kind of at the 80s, 70s. So, for example, we did this website for World of Business Reading Group, and their website kind of portrays an old newspaper with this tan color, the fonts, the imagery in black and white. But it's very like it's although it looks vintage, it's very current. Their design is very current, and it's really fun to navigate through their site. Another one is hyperreality. We can use an abstract type of font. We can use surrealism, 3D elements, and for example, in Christine Chasky, we decided to play around with the layers to create like a surrealistic header by integrating text in her background. Then we have the analog trend, which is using elements from the 90s or 2000s, when the internet was starting. So we have these all click, all the old retro vibe, all textures, lo-fi, those kind of vibes, very neon colors, are also good. Again, if your industry allows it. Finally, since we're in the AI era, adding a chatbot that uses AI to your website could be a good resource to create engagement with your visitors and to help them get their questions answered before taking action on your business. In case the frequent asked question section, it's not enough for them, they can go to the chat and get some questions resolved. Additionally, if you are planning on creating content for your own website, but you don't know where to start, it could be a good way for you to start brainstorming on topics, on how to organize your content, so that it makes it easy for you to get the final copy to include on your website. We don't want to put too much copy into your website, but definitely you can start from here. Now, those are all the trends that I wanted to show you. I hope that this webinar has helped you identify if your website is still current, or if you need a website redesign. We can always help you with it. Or in case some of the designs, some of the websites I just showed you interests you, then you can book a consultation with us, and we can start from one of the designs that you liked, or out of the elements that you wanted to include on your website. This really helps us to understand how you want to be portrayed and how you want to be perceived by your visitors. I hope you had taken some notes. Now, if you scan this QR code that it's over here, you will be taken to the booking page of our website, and you can find a spot there to book a consultation with us.